There we go. Can you guys hear us now?
Oh.
Just close that window. I think we're...
Okay.
Can we get... Are we heard? Are we heard now?
It might take a little while to get there.
And sorry if we just blew up your guys' speakerless
I'm
feedback.
actually not sorry. I like to keep you guys on your toes.
Oh. Behold the dance of Alfie.
Yeah, exactly. I'm trying to make sure we've got some schmooze going on.
Yeah, schmooze.
No sound. Yeah, yes. Okay, you can hear us now.
The sheer power of these two kings being in the same room has shorted out their audio.
This is true. This is true. We simply have too much energy right now.
Yay. Awesome.
Well done.
I just want to establish, he's not this much taller than me. I am in a shorter chair.
There's a reason why he's wearing the Vegeta and I'm wearing the orange.
Yep, there's a reason. And it's because I am the superior character and one that is liked more by the fan base.
And I'm Goku! Hello everyone and welcome to another Geeks for Fun live stream. We're doing a kind of mostly chilling out holiday thing because again, I'm in the same room as co-writer Sid Part 2 for the very first time, so it's nice to be able to celebrate that and hang out with you guys and have this on camera. And also while we're here, maybe give some updates on the plans for Geeks for Fun, why there's been less parts of Dbdc, and what we're going to do in the future. So all of that and more. First of all, I just want to say hi to the chat and say how everyone's been, so answer some of the questions if you got them there before we jump into the meat and potatoes of things.
We got a $2 donation from Fox to say take your heels off.
Wow, you know, my heels remain firmly put on because his boots were made for walking, and walking's what they do.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot about the GIFs. I love the GIFs. Are you going to do an Earth 1 what if?
No. I like Earth 1 Wonder Woman, but any elements from that we could just put into our Wonder Woman.
I mean, that's almost like very close to what we write Wonder Woman as anyway.
Yeah.
And the Earth 1 books aren't connected despite what they might tell you. Because there's no way, like, I guess maybe Batman and Superman, you could make an argument for Wonder Woman, but when you start getting like to Teen Titans Earth 1, which everyone forgets exists, is straight up stated this isn't a world without superheroes. Mm-hmm. And then like Green Lantern Earth 1 takes place in like the year 2500 or something. So it's just the Earth 1 books aren't connected anyway, so there'd be no point. It would just be another stripped down Goku origin in DC.
Yeah, so no Earth 1 stuff.
Yeah. Though, one thing we should show off, we showed it to the Discord earlier, but
That's
I'm
right.
sure Alfie's very excited for this to be seen by the public, too. Let's see if I can hand it out of frame. No, I got it in frame anyway.
Ha 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 ha.
Camera's right there.
Ha 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 ha. We have a Kakarot Ken custom fig that this man got me for Christmas. He's got the logo on the back. He's in the Doom Saga gi. He's got the Ryu Jingu Bang. He is absolutely looking gorgeous. So I'm very, very happy with this. This one's mine though. Mine. Larfleeze is very happy with this as well, I'm sure. But yeah, he's absolutely...
I mean, you can try putting them right there, see what happens.
Can we have... Yeah, we'll have Kakarot here. Just
there we go. Just chilling in the chat box. Yeah. That's perfect.
Hanging out with us.
Oh, yeah. So that was a fun one. There's a video. You posted the video.
Yeah, I posted the video in our Discord, which if you want to join, links around stuff somewhere.
Sometimes in the description, at least in the description of other videos.
Yeah, if you just go to one of our other videos, you'll be able to jump in and get a link to our Discord pretty easily. Yeah, it's pretty easy to find, but yeah, you can see the video of him opening it for the first time, which is really cool. I was very happy.
Yeah, so that was cool. That was fun. Alright. Abel Zulu says, when will Broly come to Earth?
Will Brody come to Earth at all?
Yeah, maybe he got killed out in space.
Maybe something else happened out in space. Maybe he just decided to find Vampire and is making babies with Chile. All these questions and more will be answered Eventually. Because we know you love Broly so much, we're not going to tell you and spoil that reveal on a stream. Broly will show up, and when Broly shows up, you'll all understand. And hopefully you'll be hyped, but when that will happen, we don't know.
For sure, for sure. And that's the thing with these, and it's been a while since we've done a stream. Someone thought this was our first live stream, and someone, like, I posted the picture of us on the community, and someone's like, oh my god, Geek for Fun face reveal.
Oh my god, reveal for the first time.
Yeah, we've done live streams before. There's a playlist of the archived live streams, so you can go back and check those out if you want, and we've done plenty of Q&A stuff. But anytime we do these, we always get a lot of the same questions, so we won't spoil anything that's coming from the series, but please ask anyway, because I have a lot of fun lying. Basically, I strive to embody Andrew Garfield, or Andrew Garfield strives to embody me, one of those two.
You were doing it fast.
I know, right? See? So, like, where's my check, Sony, and or Disney, and or Marvel? But, I really should get a check from all three when you think about it. But, like, yeah, so we're not going to spoil anything, just a heads up. But, maybe you can catch us off guard or something if you're good. You're not good.
Yeah, that would be good.
You're not that good. You're trash. Is there an Otherworld / Afterlife in Dbdc, says Tevin Daniels.
There is an Afterlife in DC, because in DC, every single religion is real. So every religion and every kind of mythology and stuff, all of that. So you've got like Valhalla, you've got Christianity, heaven and hell, you've got every kind of afterlife in DC. So yes, there is, but there's no one that's like DBZ Otherworld Afterlife, where it's just kind of a place you can hang out. That's not how DC handles that. It's not one of those kind of things. So there is an afterlife, there is not another world.
Mm-hmm. This is a good one. Soldier 66. How far into the story have you all figured out?
We've got the end of the story mapped out, and we've got the entire next saga fully scripted. Yeah,
that'll be exciting. And that's one of the ones where, like, every time we've had, like, a saga done, and we've done one of these streams, I'm like, do we want to announce the name? And we know we can't. We named the saga, and, like, the second we said all the name, we're like, oh, that's the best fucking name ever, and we can't reveal it until the first episode drops.
Mm-hmm. Because it's the name of the saga itself will tell you what it's about, and so we can't even say it ahead of time. But yeah, we have the entire story of Dragon Ball DC fully planned out to the end. We're about, after Doom's finished, we'll be basically over halfway done. But we've still got, that could change, because when we actually get down to scripting the things get longer, things get shorter.
We think of, like, adding things. I think technically Doom's now, like, almost halfway, but, like, actually under, because we talked about, like, adding a saga somewhat recently, because we were realizing we were kind of, like, missing a beat somewhere. So, what was the one manga that you said it was like? One Piece,
yeah,
where
One
like
Piece.
He always is striving toward an ending, but he keeps like getting sidetracked and adding
more
and more.
Oda's had the idea of ending for One Piece for a while, and he's always like, but more, like filling the time. So our ending never changed; it just keeps getting pushed back.
yeah. But I mean, it's really exciting. It's super fun to do. So really excited. Let's see here. When will Part 8 be out? It's been 3 months, and how many sagas are they going to be? Says YouTuber Platypus.
Well, like, Part 8 is one of those things where I wanted it to have it out for Christmas, but because I'm here, and there's a whole situation with me going to America, which I made a YouTube post about, it's made it harder to just sit down and isolate myself and edit like I do if I was on my own, because if I'm with my girlfriend or my friends, I don't want to just ignore them when I'm on a very limited time trip. But the audio and stuff for that was out, so I don't want to give an exact date, because I know every time I do that I always end up missing it. But first thing that's coming out first is the Dbdc Bombshells episode, and then after that it will be the Dbdc episode. So the best way to gauge is whenever Bombshells comes out, the month or 2 months after that is probably when Dvdc will come out. So that could be January, that could be February. I won't give a date on that, but you should be fine.
Mm-hmm. You remember when when Doom Saga and Bombshells and the other saga were all going to be like 2 weeks apart.
Yeah. Yeah. What a world that would have been. But then if we did that, you never would have had animated Wonder Woman fights, you never had Justice League art for every episode, so hopefully the wait isn't too bad for you guys, because the wait just means the episodes are going to be better, and you're going to have more art, you're going to have more resources, so when you go back and binge everything, it will be worth it, because you'll get a stronger overall product, if that makes sense.
Aaron pointed out that my video quality is real crap, and I'm not sure why, because this is a 1080p camera.
Is it the right camera?
Yeah, it's going from right up there for sure.
I don't know then.
But I don't know. We'll just have to deal with it, and Aaron will just deal with being mean and salty. But you know what? I can do this, and you can't.
I'm gonna kill you for that. I hope you realize.
I mean, so she's gonna kill me for a lot of things. Weight equals better quality, so that's fair. Thank you, Soldier66.
Thank you.
Out of asking, will Vegeta's son show up from the future?
Hopefully by now, we're 7 parts deep. This is not anything like the Cell Saga. This is its own complete thing, like all our things are, and any possibility of Trunks showing up, we would have done it by now, because we're already approaching the end of this saga. We're not going to pull, here's this character that we have to introduce and develop and make with the cast in like the last 2 episodes. We're not going to rush it like that. If we were going to put him in, he'd already be here. Mm-hmm. So I'm just going to end it on that, on any Trunks, the things and stuff like that. In a world that doesn't have Bulma, Trunks doesn't make sense. So
yeah, in a way that like Gohan doesn't. And that's the thing that we've talked about. Like, we racked our brains a lot of if we could find a way to include Trunks, and the determination just came down to that either version of Trunks, but particularly the one everyone likes, which is the time-traveling version, is just dependent on Bulma as a character to exist. It's not just interchangeable. Like, the pragmatist that Trunks comes entirely from Bulma and being raised by Bulma.
Yeah, exactly.
And you really, really do need that in a way you don't necessarily with Gohan. Like, Gohan in canon is, of course, greatly influenced by Chi-Chi, but Lex serves a similar role to that in pushing for the attainment of mental stability, of scholarly ambition, in a way that no one else but Bulma could quite service for Trunks, and Trunks' very specific circumstances are also required.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what we said.
Yeah. I saw something and then I lost it. Comment question. Thoughts on Jonathan Hickman potentially writing Spider-Man based on rumors? I guess that's a thing.
I'd be down for that. I think it's funny that Hickman's kind of become Marvel's fix our franchise guy.
Because he did X-Men too.
He said he doesn't want to do any more long runs, so I'd imagine he'd just do like a miniseries and then bounce, which I don't think would fix the problem. Is we'd get a good miniseries, but then whoever came on afterward has to follow Hickman, and I think that's always kind of an impossible task, so I'd be down for it. I liked the Spider-Man Beyond stuff. I'm kind of sad that's ending as quick as it is, because I think the writing team on that has been quite strong. Especially compared to Spencer and Slott. So the future of Spider-Man's pretty much up in the air, but if Hickman did have, like, he went against his word and actually did a long run on Spider-Man, that'd be fantastic. He'd be a perfect writer for that, so I'd be down.
Yeah. You mean to tell me Vegeta and Steve's adopted future son isn't going to pop in at the end of DBDC? Shh, no spoilers. No spoilers.
Right.
See, that's the thing. That's the thing I got on Andrew Garfield, is Andrew Garfield's all like, no, not me. I'm the one who would straight up say, yeah, man, it's going to be so cool when the 3 Spider-Men team back up, especially with Japanese Spider-Man there, and they go back in time and defeat Thanos in Endgame. That's going to be everyone's favorite scene.
You just like to fuck with people more than Andrew Garfield is what you do.
Yeah.
He'd just feel guilty if he did the evil things you do.
Well, get on my level.
Okay. I'm just saying, he's a bit of a meanie.
Well, I am a bit of a meanie. What are they going to do about it, Alfie, huh? Oh, there we go.
My face.
Whoops. Wrong thing. Hold on.
This is... Oh, sorry.
Yeah, right. Fit to screen. How did I do that earlier? There we go. Much better. And we're actually in frame. Hopefully that increased the quality.
Perhaps. We'll see. As you can tell, he's a master at this. He truly is.
Yeah. I mean, it looks good. Like, that was the thing. It looks good there in the first place. I don't know what the end result looks like.
I'm here for it.
Low-key, I would be interested to see what Morrison's take on Captain America would be. It would probably never happen, but the thought is just interesting, I guess. Morrison can write anything.
Yeah. But I think Morrison's done with big two superhero comics until... Well, Dan DiDio's not there anymore to convince him, like he normally is, so unless they have another person like that, I think Morrison's going to be happy going into retirement writing a Santa comic once a year.
Mm-hmm.
So I think Morrison, Superman the Authority is their last little pass it off to the next generation.
Oh shit, Devil Kick Sanji has been asking questions and talking, and we've not acknowledged him one time. Hi, Kakarot. Sorry. My bad. Yeah, sorry. Could Goku forge his own Blue Lantern ring? God, I don't know what the ring process currently is for Blue Lanterns, because it used to be like the latest one recruited would go recruit the next one. So it was very slow compared to like Green Lantern and everyone else. So I don't know if like they have to go forge their own rings or what goes on with that. Conceptually, he could, and if you present it to him as a challenge, he'd probably do it, but he'd never really use the thing.
No, he'd do it and be like, okay, here you go, bye. I
mean, like, I don't know. I guess if I can think of, because you know how this works. I always like get a like inkling of a thing. I'm like, yeah, maybe I could do it this way. So with the Super Saiyan saga, there's a lot of like gaps in time because that entire saga takes place over the course of a year. So if something like that were to have happened and Goku's little like collecting things and we establish that like the different cores pop up during that time because of the events of the Entity Saga, he would probably be recruited, and I could even believe that he would carry one around because the nice thing about Blue Lantern Ring is it's passive. It doesn't help the wearer, it just helps those around them. And even then, only to like so much of a degree, if you're not a Green Lantern.
The one I think he'd use that for is if he wanted to like have a fight with Hal, he put it on to make Hal stronger.
Yeah, that, or just like, you know, I could see him like having it like on him, and just the presence of it would help boost Hal in like a like team battle kind of situation.
I think he'd be like, I want to fight you. I don't want to work with, because he wouldn't want to work with Hal enough. Especially after he's gone Super Saiyan, Goku's very one-on-one focused.
Yeah, for sure. But I'm just saying, like, the concept there, there's something to him just having that around that, and it provides, like, a healing thing for teammates and stuff, too. So you can probably justify something to that degree. But, yeah, it's not something he would actively use very often, because that's just, it's an assist, and he doesn't like that. Like,
and it's outside of his own... Again, it's too much of a thing, and I think as well it's just one of those things where it's too much. Like, I don't mind giving Kakarot like techniques from other heroes, but when he starts wielding stuff from other heroes' mythology, I think that's taking away from. Then it gets a little bit too everything in the kitchen sink, and you kind of lose the integrity of like, if this was, because like, you don't see regular Superman walking around with a Blue Lantern ring either.
Yeah, but at the same time, you do see Superman get one.
Yeah, because everyone...
Yeah, exactly.
Now and again, but like, I feel like that's like... I think what they're talking about is like that was a permanent addition outside of like an event.
Yeah, and that's why I'm saying like, I could see it as like that one-off in like the events. Like if the Super Saiyan Saga was like literally a year of comics and you know, we always talk about this, like, if Dragon Ball DC was an actual book coming out, published by DC Comics, then the Super Saiyan Saga would be a thing that's, like, affecting everything in that line. And since he's in space, it would be affecting all the space cosmic books, too. And so you could see that being like a story or a little mini arc contained within that wider saga. And in that case, I could see it as just the one-off is he'd use it for a while or maybe have it for a while. And the nice thing about a Blue Lantern ring, as seen with Larfleeze, is when in Larfleeze's introduction story, Hal currently it has like the Green Lantern on one finger and the blue on the other, and he can't get the blue one off. And he finds out that the way to get rid of it is just hope for something, and he does. He hopes to have it off, and it just like vanishes. Larfleeze gets a hold of one too, and the instant he touches it, because he wants and hopes for so many things, it vanishes. So like you could get the thing onto him, and you could maybe do that where he can't get it off for like a story arc or something, and then when he figures out the trick to it, then it goes away.
I wouldn't even do that. I'd probably just do the fact like he puts it on and he's like, oh, I can make hell stronger with this. I really want to fight him, and poof.
Yeah, that'd be fun. So something like that. You could do, like, you're always like, no, shut it down. I don't want to do that.
No, yeah, I am. I'm not gonna lie. There are things I'm just like, no. Whereas you're a lot more bendy with like, oh, we could do it for once. Where I am like,
well, that's because like you're thinking of the practicality of like, oh, we don't really have time for that. And I'm thinking of like that'd be fun though. Like
yeah,
I would do it as like a one-off. Like that'd be a good short that no one would read.
Edit that, you can.
Well, that's the thing is I don't have to edit it. I could just make a cover and post a short story that's like 3 or 4 pages. And...
You can do that then if you want to read Sid Part 2 short stories. Head over to sidpart2 at deviantart.com and read them, because he puts a lot of work into them, and it would be nice if they got appreciated more.
I mean, I think they're fun. Some people like them. We got a comment on the kids stuff one after I reformatted that one that got some love. I really like that one too. When I was going through and like reformatting them, I ended up like, you know how you get like caught up in reading it together. You're like, oh man, this is really good.
That's good. That's a good sign. Do we have any other pressing concerns?
Oh, you read one. You're right here.
And the bum shows, hey Geeks with Fun, will DBCC Goku died by the heart virus like in DBZ future timeline?
Who's to say? He's going through a lot right now, but at the same time, there's a lot of really super geniuses in DC, and Leo Quintum says he's working on a cure, so he could not. You'll have to watch and find out.
Now we're doing a stream. Thoughts on Junior Lang copying you guys fly with the Morgan Print company. I joked about that, but like he's clearly wanted to I'm a fucking British white guy. I do not own Sun Wukong. Like I don't own Goku or anything like that. It's awesome. You should go check it out. He fights Darkseid in it, and he's the closest you'll get to Goku in DC as an official thing, so there's no wrong by me. I love that writer, and I think everything that's done in DC has been a boon. So I joke, I love the meme, but you didn't actually copy me. Is that the Goku statue? Yeah, that is a geeky DBC Goku statue. For any new people joining, I got this from Sid Part 2 himself for Christmas, and it is exactly what it looks like. It's so cool. It's a custom. One in the world. You love to see it.
Yeah, I should definitely like go re-find the person I commissioned for that and link their stuff. They did a really good job on it. It was fun.
What happened to the Just Imagine streams? Those are very old. Those were the early parts of the channel pre-Dbdc, where I was just trying different formats out. I enjoyed those. They were fun, but don't speak to the guy I did them with anymore, and it just, I'd rather, if I was going to use those ideas, I'd just make them into videos. So, fun thing, glad it's on the channel, but wouldn't expect it to come back.
Will there be a small chance of an Injustice Kakarot?
When I'm President of the United States, yes. Until that time, no. So, keep a lookout, and your vote does matter.
OP and Kakarot makes finders, and Kakarot might be the most powerful Goku to exist.
Well, I mean, we write him, so he's already the best and most powerful, and he's got the biggest dick, and like, he's, yeah. And if every character rewrite is the most powerful version of that character, yes, that's right. Our version of Martha Kent could solo the Spectre. That's how powerful the Dbdc verse is.
She feeds him one slice of apple pie.
And he's out. He's out like a log. So yeah, just say it. Just say it to everyone. Say, go to Versus Battle Wiki and say,
oh my god, check out Geeks for Fun. Just use it as free advertising. Just say, I invented it. Say, we're the blueprint. Zack Snyder copied us. Please. We need the advertising.
Devil Kick Sanji says up here, how much was the figure? I want a fig like that. I love getting figs of characters I play. Now, you can cover your ears for this if you want. Not counting the cost of shipping and the original figure itself, that was a $200 job. So...
Thank you, my friend.
It was worth every penny. Again, there was a reason that was for your birthday and Christmas.
that was a doozy, I tell you.
But that was really worth every penny. It's so freaking cool. I love that thing.
Primal Mythos, thank you for the £2 super chat. So when Black Lantern to White Lantern Bardock, again, this will when he becomes Prime Minister of the United Kingdom. So, like, once again, your vote truly does matter if you want these concepts, which are always just on the top of our agenda.
It just reminds me of like when like before Entity Saga Part 1 even dropped, when they just knew that it was like something to do with lanterns and people were discussing the thing. Someone had the coolest suggestion, and I was like, I'm not going to do it because we're not redoing Blackest Night, but like if this had happened in like the Blackest Night comic, this would have been the hypest shit in the world. It was just Planet Vegeta.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh my god.
That'd be pretty cool. But cool concept. Again, the thing with Dbdc is a lot of things we do are just for cool factor, but there's just so many things like that if you tried to put them in, you can lose the integrity of the story you're telling, and as much as we lack any integrity or dignity or anything, we at least try to make sure the story itself follows its own path and is always in service to the characters. And if a moment's just cool and it's not in service of the characters, then we can't use it. So, Jonathan Kent is the Spectre. Dragon Ball DC life story look like? I mean, it already is. Like, we are just following the characters in real time, and the timeline is already aging and stuff. So.
Which is like a distinction from regular DC, where like the characters are always ageless. We're having time skips. We're having things go forward.
So like, yeah. And I saw an earlier question about like Bruce. Bruce, like, would he ever come back? It's like, well, the point of the series is this is a universe where, unlike DC, where Bruce has to come back, this is a universe where Bruce can just die, and we can just have Dick Grayson be Batman, and that status quo just keep going, which is a unique advantage we have as a fan series, and as in the model of Dragon Ball, where Dragon Ball would just keep going until Super, and then it just stays until a very specific point. So that's where we're at with that. Remember to subscribe to Geeks for joining us, and or Ash, he is a bully. Okay. Where will there be a Heroes Battle Royale in Dbdc? We already had that.
That was the tournament.
That's that's the latest episode. Go watch episode 7. I'm really proud of that one. I think that's our best episode we've ever done.
I mean, it is absolutely fantastic, and it's not it's mainly him. All the art he did for that, including the custom animation for it, is just absolutely incredible. It's too fucking good. I can't believe that you posted that animation that doesn't have like millions of views. Everyone needs to go back through the video stream, and if you haven't liked and shared the animation excerpt from the Doom Saga video,
because if you do, we can make more.
Yeah, that needs to be hyped up, because if that, like, just the fact that it's Kakarot versus Wonder Woman in the title, right? So like, if we can get that on YouTube censors, and that should have the potential at least to get a good chunk of clicks, a good amount of attention, and that could help bring in funding for the series, bring people into the series, and help just sustain it even more.
Pretty much.
It's always so weird because like you look at 20,000 subscribers, and it makes and I know, like, myself as a YouTuber for so long, it seems huge, but on the other side of it, it is shocking how small we still really are. And so every little bit anyone in the fan base can do to help the channel grow and help support the team and stuff behind it, just, you have no idea the amount of impact any little bit helps. And by little bit, I mean even just pressing like on the videos. Yeah, it changes the world. Yeah. What would a hypothetical Dragon Ball DC Injustice timeline look like? I've got this one. I've got it. I've told you. I've got this one. All right. So, Goku doesn't get any pizza one day. And that makes him turn evil.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Look at this face.
Look at that face of tyranny.
This is a tyrant right here waiting to happen. Just like that evil mother trucker Superman. That's just how it's gonna go.
No one... We had a pitch for a Injustice gag video.
Yeah.
And I guess since it's a live stream and no one will see it anyway, we can talk about it. It was like to be where it was like a clip of the Joker having kidnapped Shiva or attempting to kidnap Shiva to get at Kakarot Kent and drive him mad and turn him into a tyrant. And then Shiva just murders the Joker. Was gonna be the Injustice timeline for Dragon Ball DC. Ares Oblivion. Wait, are Lady Shiva and Goku a thing? Yes. For the love of God. It's in the text, man. It's right there.
I mean, who's to say, honestly?
Yeah, you're right. It's so vague. I swear to God, if just one fucking kiss on the screen would have made the world of difference, just to get rid of the question, if nothing else.
No, because I love how pained it makes you.
It's just so
So I'm
stupid.
going to triple down on it.
Oh.
Who's to say?
Goku causes slavery part 2.
That's our plans for 2022. I think that might be a good time to actually get into some of that.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay, so, like we said, Dbdc episodes and plans got pushed back a little bit because of the trip and just my own scheduling and kind of not doing the best job of that on my own part. So I take full responsibility for that, as always.
Oh no, how dare he travel to America to see his friends and girlfriend and not spend the whole time working on his YouTube fanfiction series. What a monster this man is. This isn't the face of tyranny. This is.
But with that being the case, the plan for 2022 is twofold, and depending on those two projects is when they get finished, we may be able to make it threefold, but I'm just going to talk about the two things. So obviously we have Dragon Ball DC The Doom Saga, which is our main series, which is the big thing of Dragon Ball DC, and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4... We got till 12 for that, so we're at 7 there. So we've got that many episodes left of Dbdc, of the Doom Saga. This is not the end of Dbdc, it's just this one saga, but it's going to go crazy, and every episode past this point is going to keep going more and more escalating, and we're in the final stretch of it now, where reveals are going to happen, mysteries are going to be answered, and we're going to really bring up the dramatic stakes with it. So each of those episodes are going to have our full attention with it. We're going to try and bring every single episode, have an art piece, maybe 2, depending on, again, time or any circumstances. If the Patreon does really well or videos get more views, it lets us put more work into it. There will be at least one more animation. At least. And a lot of people's excitement things will come true. So Doom Saga is going to absolutely be fantastic. When it's all said and done, watch the whole thing from the beginning, and hopefully it will make everything feel like a cohesive, epic saga. Again, we wrote it effectively as if it was a 12-issue Black Label, like, this is our All-Star Superman. This is our statement on Goku. With that said, you'll know DBCC. The spin-off Dvdc series is, I'm also going to count this in. So this will be Dragon Ball DC Bombshells, which just has 2 episodes left, and the next episode will be the next upload. So that's coming the soonest out of everything else. I've already made progress with editing that. I've literally just got to finish it up and get the text boxes and stuff and edit and finish like visuals and stuff. But that's going to come the closest out of everything. And then the finale of that. We'll also have Jenny and Larfleeze, which also has 2 episodes that needs to go out. And then we've got a couple of the Patreon shorts, which we've got all the audio for. We just need to edit together and put them out. And those will be the Dbdc things of 2022, excluding when Doom Saga gets finished, because then we might be able to work on the next saga Dbdc again. I don't want to say until how far in the year we are for that. But that's Dragon Ball DC. It's going to probably be the biggest year DVDC's ever had, because it's going to have the biggest reveals, it's going to have the biggest episodes, it's going to have the longest episodes. It's all going to kind of come together with Doom Saga and this specific era of Dragon Ball DC. Okay, that's DVDC, and I want to answer any questions we've got on that before we go into the second project.
I didn't see anything like specific about that popping up. Random thought, the ending of Dbdc Ep 7 has made me wondering about something. Does Kakarot not understand his worth as a hero? It's an interesting one. We can definitely come back and talk about that later, but that's not really related to anything. But that's, so you got your answer for like what the upload schedule is going to be going forward. Is
Yes.
Bombshells 1, Jenny and Larfleeze, and then hopefully episode 8 of Dbdc.
And once episode 8 of Dbdc comes out, every subsequent episode is going to be Doom, Doom, Doom until the end. Because there won't be any more Bombshell or Jenny, it will just be straight Doom, because those episodes are going to be so emotionally intense. You don't want to have a lighter thing in the middle of them. We want to break you.
Mm-hmm.
So those kind of stuff will be that. Okay. Do we want to say it first and then do art, or do art first and then say it?
Go ahead and do art first, because I'm gonna have to set up say it first, and then I'll get the art rolling as best I can.
Okay, so our next project after the Doom Saga is finished, which will be in 2022, is going to be a Dragon Ball specific series, kind of like we did. So not a crossover. Will be like the closest thing I can give is with Dragon Ball Norse, is where it was set entirely using Dragon Ball stuff. And it's going to be about a character that a lot of people are excited about and wanting to know. And it'll be our take in a way that will be visually different than anything we've ever done in Dragon Ball DC. We will be telling the Geeks for Fun version of Yamoshi, the original Super Saiyan, the first one, the one we know nothing about. We will be going into all of the backstory, and it will be a 3-part series that is meant to be viewed as one 90-minute plus, maybe less, I don't know the runtime yet, film. And when I say film, I do mean film in the sense that this won't be done like Dbdc, where it will be animatics on a screen with PNGs. I will be using this entire thing as an animatic. Not an animation, but if you have ever seen Dragon Ball R&R and how that's produced, or like a motion comic or something like that, those are the closest visual examples to what we're hoping to achieve with the Yamoshi project. I want this to be the thing that can maybe give us another big view boost, as something you don't have to watch anything else on the channel to understand. It will be set entirely in Dragon Ball series, and we'll be making it our version of, if Toei contacted us and said, make this canon, this is what we do with it. This will be our exclusive, one-of-a-kind deal.
Mm-hmm. And you can listen to the ad for the video of the stream. Well, let's go ahead. Stop it. I just need to get the stream up and make sure the video works.
Figures, yeah.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties, but Yamoshi be hype.
Yeah, Yamoshi be hype. So you can go ahead and start talking with the art, because it should be on screen.
Okay.
Everything.
Yeah,
it's on screen.
This art piece right here is outdated. It should give you the general vibe, but the designs and stuff here is from a very early version of the project. We do have up, though, the final designs and kind of the art style the series itself will be in. If you have those in the tag as well? Yeah. So here we are on the right.
Right over here. Who's this guy?
This is someone you know very familiar, is Kumba, which you'll recognize from Dragon Ball Heroes. Now, I know what you might be saying. Kumba sucks. I agree. Kumba sucks. But why did he end up that way? The thing we're going to be doing with Kumba is something I'm really proud of, is I think I've come up with a take of Kumba's life and his backstory that will make you view how he is in Heroes extremely differently and make him a character you actually will fall in love with. As you can tell from the art and his character design, you can maybe get a little vibe of what his personality might have been like when he was young. I don't want to reveal too many specifics, but Kumba, I think the closest example I can give you is, think about what Goku would have been like if he was raised on planet Vegeta. Or to some of that extent. Again, even that's a kind of a very oversimplification, but there's a lot of stuff there where hopefully the story will make sense to in a way you'll be able to see Kumba in a new light without contradicting what we know of him from the main series. But again, Dragon Ball Heroes isn't exactly viewed as canon anyway, so if I have to change things, I will. But
is mainly just the idea of the
exactly,
character
it's the
kinda hit.
concept, the name, and the design, and the basic idea of him. But on the right, we have the boy himself, Yamoshi. This is our original design of Yamoshi, done by me and the artist Art Skull. And this is our take on Yamoshi as a child. Our pitch for Yamoshi will go into more into the thing, but the idea his originally, as you can tell by the nature of his clothes, is Yamoshi is the prince of planet Sadala. He is the son of King Sadala, and he's not exactly what a royal king would want from a firstborn son. We'll be going into that story in the thing, but Yamoshi is going to be a main character in Dragon Ball unlike anything you've seen before. He's not Gohan, he's not Goku, he's not Goten, he's not Goku Jr. Yamoshi is a very, very different character, but one I think will make sense that this dude was the first person in history to become a Super Saiyan, and started that whole thing. You'll be able to see echoes of Vegeta, Goku, Gohan, Broly, all of these other characters that took the Super Saiyan mantle from him, throughout him, but he's still his own character. Yamoshi is going to be our central figure, and the one the entire story revolves around, and I'm just really excited for y'all to see his thing and what's going on with that.
And then next we got
And
this
then
guy.
we've got I want to say his name because I don't want to necessarily reveal too many details on this stream, but if you want to go through him and then the other regular character design, these are two other Saiyan characters which will be featured in the series. You may be able to guess a little bit from their outfits and stuff who they might be or what their things is, but the key with Yamoshi is we're going to be making a lot of original characters because this is set in a time period we have no references for, we have no idea what it's about, we have no things to pull literally aside from the name Yamoshi and the name Kumba and Kumba's design. Everything else we have to make from scratch. And that's actually been a lot of fun and very freeing, being able to make all these things. So hopefully, these two characters and more coming up, you'll be able to walk away with some new favorite fan-made Dragon Ball characters that if we could get more of or whatever, will be... I'd love that, because I always like seeing like when people take our creations and go over and roll with them.
Next we got...
Then we have Kumba when he's grown up. And as we can see, he's starting to resemble his Dragon Ball hero self a little bit more. But again, his outfit tells you a little bit about maybe his class, his current thing. And with the designs of these characters, we wanted to make sure that they were a bit of a mix between what we know Saiyan armor will become and what we see through Kaba and Caulifla and Kale and what the Sadala armor looks like. As well with like Shala and Giblet and their armor. So we're basically trying to give you a view of what Saiyan culture might have looked like, because again we never know, and if Toriyama actually goes back and retcons this, that's fine, because the idea of this being the legend of Yamoshi, we're going to be able to make a story that maybe it happened this way, maybe it didn't. What matters is this is the legend that has been passed down verbally. So the details of it could have changed over the years and stuff, but this is what, when Vegeta talks to Goku on Namek and he's like the Super Saiyan, this like that, this is the legend he would have been told as a child. This would have been his bedtime story.
And then finally...
And then we finally have an adult Yamoshi.
Oh man, I love this design so much. It's the hair that does it for me. The hair is so good.
It worked out really well, because the thing with Yamoshi and a lot of character designs I've seen for him is it's very much, and even I'm guilty of that, if you look at that original poster, it's very Goku in his hairstyle. Where we took Yamoshi, though, is we managed to take him, and this is entirely down to Art School, who was the artist who got managed to very kindly lend their talents to this, and more coming up for the series. You got to take a Yamoshi who is completely an original, unique character, who looks like a Toriyama design, but doesn't look like anyone else that came before him.
It's so cool to just see like the stuff that makes a character distinct like this. I love that. And the hair is, you're right, that's exactly what it is. It's this perfect, it looks like something Toriyama could do, but it's just unique to him, you know?
Mm-hmm. So yeah, I hope everyone is excited for the Yamoshi project, and again, because it's the one that's going to be after Doom Saga, it's the one that's going to be the farthest away. But my hope is you've all got kind of a taste for it now and are excited to see where we'll be going with it. And I just want to take a look in the chat and see what people's reactions are.
Same. The hair for Yamoshi is so good, says Smug. Woo! Cell nut emoji. I'm guessing Yamoshi is going to be a heroic prince that doesn't like the divide between bloodlines. That's an interesting theory. This is going to be about the first Super Saiyan, then I'm assuming we'll see the war between the evil and pure-hearted Saiyans.
That's something that's in Battle of Gods. So, a cool thing about this story in terms of predictions, unlike Dbdc, you guys have access to all the information I have, and we have, about the Dragon Ball Super Saiyan legend. You can go into the series, you can go to the manga, the anime, the movies, and look up what we have been told has happened, and you'll be able to piece together some of the story. Because again, my goal with this is to make something that is still our story, but is complacent and fits into the Dragon Ball series itself. So when you want to watch Dragon Ball, you could theoretically watch this as the very first thing, as like this, I guess like old Republic style prequel. Is like
cool.
It's like if you watch the Star Wars trilogy and like the main thing, that's Dragon Ball. Our Yamoshi story is the Old Republic animated trailers, which go so hard. That's the kind of vibe we're going for. This is the KOTOR of Dragon Ball. This is where everything started.
Let's see here. Holy hell, I knew the Yamoshi thing was coming thanks to Discord, but I didn't think it would be this ambitious. It's always, like, with this guy, it's just impossible to do. Like, Alfie, what if we tried to just do, like, a single part, standard Dragon Ball, what if, just to, have some content up on the channel? Yeah, maybe, like, if this happened, then the Buu saga is completely different, then the implications with Beerus. I'm like, no, single part.
I just get bored if it's tepid. I think that's What If on YouTube is such a saturated place, and so many people are putting out so many great work. You got Kafu, you got Masako, you got Smugstick, who is here, and I'm going to take that back. Smugstick does not do good work. We do not associate ourselves with Smugstick. He is in England now. He is the limey.
He's been banished exactly. to the land of greyness and terror known as the UK.
So you got Smugstick.
We lured him there with his one weakness.
Aquaman, Salad Saiyan, all of these other characters, plus Ultraman. These guys do such good work and on such a regularly consistent schedule, which I would never be able to match. So rather than just being the poor man's Smugstick, which I would shoot myself, I would just rather to do, okay, what Geeks for Fun can we do that's different, which are these more ambitious voice acting, longer editing, longer videos, throwing out more original art, something that can make each video a event rather than like episodes of a TV series. We want to make these feel like when a Geeks for Fun upload comes out, you can't miss it, you have to watch it, and you'll be like, wow, that was way better than the last one, and just always kind of on top ourselves, because that's what keeps me interested as a creative, and that's how we have the most fun. Because I don't think when we talk, we were literally just in the car talking about a future saga, and we were like, oh, this is just so hype. Like, we can't help it. We can't phone it in even if we wanted to.
I know, for sure. 100%. It's just like, it's funny that it's always ambitious. It's always a 10. It's never like, maybe just a solid 7 to, just get people through. No.
I have to go bigger, harder, and longer and uncut. That's the way.
Will Yamoshi fight Vegeta and Goku?
I mean,
You better move the statue. It's kind of blocking your face, bro.
Oh, wow. I mean, they want to see Goku instead of me anyway.
How's that? There we go.
There we go. What was that thing? I gotta go, listen to the live stream. Have fun, Fox. When Dragon Ball DC's. Ha 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 ha. KOTOR or Dragon Ball fucking sword. Thanks, Matt. Orange shoe goes hard. Mind if I screenshot? I mean,
go ahead, I guess. But this isn't. I mean, this is the purple suit. I don't want to go on it for yet. Alfie really said he's MCU Spider-Man to Smug's Iron Man. That's how it feels, honestly. He gave me the suit. He gave me the editing. But if you watched, Dragon Ball DC Doomstar is gonna be No Way Home. We're gonna pop off and we're gonna get rid of the smug stick suit and we're gonna bring in 3 different versions of. We're gonna bring in Geeky Jedi and we're gonna be Steve Baxi and we're gonna be that's gonna be the three things. Spoilers. But yeah, maybe scroll up and see if we can see more of the Yamoshi stuff.
Yeah, I think I caught through most of it. I was trying to read through Matt Kid. I dig a lot of these designs. How impenetrable will this be for people who don't know much about Dragon Ball?
It will be fine. You'll be able to jump in as if this was like a very action-centric Studio Ghibli film. I'm looking at this as like in terms of like the scripting stuff. I've got the first part of it. I'm trying to finish that one off, but I'm going to be scripting it as if I was making an animated movie. And yes, it's Dragon Ball related, but kind of like how the Broly movie, until it got to the modern day, most people can just pick that up and get it. Like, okay, these are alien race warriors and stuff. Like, it does a really good job of explaining itself as it goes, and then it gets to more classic Dragon Ball. Obviously, with Yamoshi, it's going to be entirely set in a past. So, again, just like with KOTOR, you can play that game and not have to play Star Wars, and it explains everything. Or even, well, I guess The Hobbit, you kind of need to learn Lord of the Rings a little bit. But...
Well, no, The Hobbit's the beginning of it.
No.
So, like, that's where everything's established. And that's kind of what the advantage is here, is, like, it's a prequel. So, like, even if we were to have, which isn't in the cards anyway, but even if we were to have, like, the godly characters who could conceivably have been alive for the events in this, their actions later on in the series don't matter because they haven't happened yet.
Exactly.
So it's like, conceptually, Beerus could appear in it, or Whis could appear in it, but it wouldn't matter beyond just the, like, fan of, like, the, oh, cool. I don't know if you're nudging me to, like, shut up, or if you're just doing it.
I'm just doing it because I'm very. This is what happens when I'm in the same room. I do this when I'm at home.
Yeah.
I just move when I get hyped.
Yeah.
But the idea of like having the best example I can give it as well is like, even if you're a Dragon Ball fan, this is going to be completely new because again, we've never seen what these Saiyans look like in this time period. What the Universe 7 Saiyans look like on Sadala is something we've seen little hints of with Charlotte, and a little bit of combat, and a little bit of the Battle of Gods thing, but never in depth. Like, again, I'm going to be showing you what the society looked like, how the roiling thing was different, and there's similarities to the modern day Universe 7 Saiyans with like King Vegeta and stuff, but that's a completely different society from just how the king rules, how the society is portrayed. And the director of the Broly movie, Nagamine, he talks about how the Saiyans lost their purity over time due to Frieza and kind of things like this, and Goku and Broly being the only pure Saiyans. We're going back to a time period where basically everyone was a pure Saiyan because the Frieza stuff, they hadn't left their planet yet. They were still kind of untouched by the passage of the universe and stuff. So a lot of things that I'm going to be adding in and my own headcanons about Saiyans, and talk to you a bit about like set of like where Ozaru's come from and how that planet would look, what kind of planet would make giant monkeys naturally, like what would that look like from like what would they eat, what did Uzarus hunt? Think about that for a second. Like, if you took it evolutionally, what did a pack of Uzarus hunt on a planet?
Right.
That visual is just cool, and that's how far back we're going. We're going back to the beginning.
And so, we're, like, creating characters and stuff, like, I don't know, could I talk about the OC that I contributed to?
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, because we don't have art made for him yet, but we're, like, I was just palling back and forth with Alfie, brainstorming ideas, and we knew a direction we were going to go in with this, and we want to include something else from canon, or not even canon, from like Dragon Ball lore that's been kind of put out there but never really refined as, is it canon or is it not, or is it just like kind of a weird idea, a Dragon Ball legend, if you will. So like the the OC that I made for the series is called Mint, because Saiyans are all named after vegetables. Mint's a vegetable. I'm like 90% certain on that one. But it's also like a cool thing because mint is a cool thing. Get it? Mint has a cool, a chilling flavor effect. It's kind of like the opposite of a pepper, right? And so Mint is going to be the character that establishes ties between the Saiyans and the Frost Empire ruled by King Chill, which is a cool thing to be able to introduce into the series.
So there's a couple of other things that, again, this is one of those things that even if you don't know anything about, that you'll be able to watch this and you'll be able to see how that got started as well.
Mm-hmm.
And because you've already said it and stuff, our version of Chilled, I'm so excited for you guys to see, because he's nothing like the OVA, who is effectively just Frieza.
Mm-hmm.
I'm so happy on the personality I've got and like how that started and what that became. If anyone predicts that, I will sincerely give you like a higher role in our Discord or something, because you just won't get what we're gonna do with Chilled. But he is not Frieza, he's not Cooler, he's not King Cold, he's not like any other Dragon Ball villain, and he's so much fun, and I can't wait for you to see him.
Yeah, so like just cool stuff like that. Tevin Daniels, will we see why the Saiyans left their homeworld?
Yes, you will. You will see how everything got to where it did. You will see the beginning of the end, basically. Like, you will see the Saiyans where they were at their peak, and how they got to eventually their destruction through the events of leaving Sadala and ending up on planet Vegeta. Because again, these aren't events that I wrote. These are events that we know had to have happened. So it's kind of fun as a writer being able to work within these kind of dates of like, okay, this has to happen, this has to happen, this has to happen. There's a lot of time in the middle, which is what we're filling in, and we're making this emotional narrative where it's not just going to be like a history lesson either. I want you to fall in love with these characters. I want you to become your new favourite characters. I want you to love the action. I want you to love the story. I love the jokes, the comedy. Make this like the Dragon Ball movie you always wished that has no established Dragon Ball characters.
Which, I mean, I'm of the opinion that the reason that you and I are able to do this is because Dragon Ball, for as much as it's expanding, it's still not really taken the dive into an expanded universe.
No, it's
the way
never
other
done
things
like...
have.
The closest we've got was Jacko, and even Jacko has Bulma show up.
Yeah, Jocko and arguably Minus are like the close, or I guess
Minus is Jacko.
Yeah, that's right. So Jocko and that time I got reincarnated as Yamcha.
And even then, that's Yamcha, the main Dragon Ball character.
Yeah, so like they've never really like gone all out and like here's a character that doesn't exist in the main canon. I guess the closest thing they've done to it is some of the video game characters, but even then they're interacting with the main cast.
Yeah.
So that's like the cool thing is what if YouTube of Dragon Ball seems to exist because of a lack of expanded universe Dragon Ball stuff, and this is, in our opinion, one of the biggest like dives we could take into really trying to flesh out that expanded universe.
Yeah, that's about it. So if you guys have got any more questions, keep them coming and we'll be able to answer them. But again, this is going to be one of those ones that you're going to want to experience itself as you in a movie. So think of asking about like the new Dragon Ball movie. Like, if we give answers, we're going to give answers like Toriyama. We're like, oh, wouldn't that be interesting? Ah ha 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 ha.
Oh, will we get any reference to Tuffles in this story?
If you think about where this is set, though, Tuffles are from their own planet. So, but we also said we're going to explain how they left Sadala. So. Mm-hmm. Make that of what you will.
K-Soda, hey there, I'm late. Just stopping by to say hello. I have one quick question. Are you guys still doing Dvdc? If so, still gladly waiting for the next installment. Thank you. Yes, we are. Don't worry, Dvdc isn't ending anytime soon. Do herbs count as vegetables? Is mint an herb?
I think so, yeah.
I mean, I would think it would count. Like, in the broad spectrum of it, probably. I mean, fucking Yamoshi's named after a root.
Yeah, exactly. So there's a lot of leeway you can get away with.
Let's see here. Is Chilled going to be a partner to the Saiyans, help them advance the technology, and then destroy the OG planet Sadala?
Again, That's what
such a
Frieza did.
Yeah, it's such a Frieza take.
And again, our shield is literally... If they did not have the same race design, you would not think they were related whatsoever. Frieza would hate his grandfather if he ever met him, kind of type deal, is what I'm going with. Is these two are as polar opposite as it could possibly get. So any Frieza type moves you're thinking of, like, oh, destroy Namek, oh, gather the Dragon Balls, oh, give the Saiyans technology. That's not what this dude's MO is. It's completely different. So let your mind wander with that. Don't think Frieza. Think what would Frieza never do.
Ares Oblivion. That's what I'm want to know as well. Well, a hell type of beast would need a pack of Saiyans to take it down. Exactly.
Think how cool that could be. Again, Saiyans have a huge appetite. They were hunters. They grew so strong to hunt things, and they grew Zenkais to get better after hunting. They wouldn't have evolved like that if they were the top predator on their planet. Those are defensive powers. Those are powers that grow to adapt. So, if they are eating to eat a lot, they have to eat very big prey. What does that look like? How do they go about it? Remember, if you look at like documentaries of like how like apes or like smarties, like chimpanzees and stuff, how they hunt, they always hunt in packs.
Mm-hmm. IDK says, wait, I thought Frieza Race would not be in Dbdc. Yamoshi is not directly connected to Dbdc. Yamoshi does not take place in the Dragon Ball DC universe.
Yamoshi takes place in the Dragon Ball universe as if a new canon movie was made. So this is completely separate from Dragon Ball DC. This is its own. This is the backstory of Yamoshi just in Dragon Ball. Just like, again, Dragon Ball Norse is meant to be viewed as an arc set between the Brody movie and Moro.
Actually, this came up in the Discord the other day. This is apropos of nothing. Also, the Predator and Alien videos are set in the mainline Dragon Ball universe. That was the whole fun part of them, is they fit perfectly within the canon. And that's the same thing going on here. Is like, it's designed to be something that fits within what is at least known in canon as of this moment, or as of when it was written. Let's see here. What else we got? Maybe Chill doesn't care about the Saiyans and would actually be a nice ruler in the galaxy compared to Frieza and King Cold.
Would he even be a ruler? We shall see. Will Mogo warn Goku of future threats? Well, Mogo can't see into the future.
No, I don't know where
That's
that one
not,
came from.
Mogo is very old. He could talk about past stuff, but he's kind of just chilling on his own. He doesn't know very much about the rest of the universe.
How do you guys feel about the theory of there being no such thing as a vegetable, with broccoli being a flower and carrot being a root? See, that's the thing. Like, vegetable is a very broad term because technically a tomato is a fruit, but you would never put that in a fruit salad now, would you? I mean, maybe you would. Maybe you don't know shit about cooking. Once saw a guy put oranges in a salad. I was very confused by that. It didn't sound good. Wait, have I ever pitched DB Terminator? Yes, it was called The Future Trunks Saga.
Ooh, what's that?
Frieza would never not be racist, so chilled. Anyway, not a ton of other.
No.
Is Chilled a mentor to the Saiyans? Who knows?
And then these are mostly the things we've answered.
Yeah. Frieza's kind were what the Uzaru hunted. They would get slapped.
Yeah, I don't think the Uzaris would be able to take on those guys.
Lots of not a ton else going on here for others. Oh wait, I did just see one. Something about bloodlines. Is there still a bloodline split?
Well, it's not necessarily a bloodline split, it's a morality split, is what they describe in Battle of Gods. Because again, we're not talking about genetics with Saiyans and stuff, no. The idea is that there were good Saiyans and evil Saiyans with like basically different moralities. So I think the best example is one side had Goku's view of fighting, and the other side had Vegeta's view of fighting, and like especially Saiyan Saga Vegeta's view of fighting. And Saiyan Saga Vegeta side of fighting won and took over the planet, and that's what the Saiyan Civil War is described in Battle of Gods, very vaguely and very quickly, without any kind of detail. And Vegeta's even kind of like is that what happened? Like, even he doesn't necessarily think that's what... So there's a lot of stuff with that going down, but it's not a bloodline thing. There was a morality split, for sure. And we'll go into that. And the fact that we've got two central characters in the art we've shown you with Yamoshi and Kumba might give you an idea of maybe what that looks like. But, as again, we'll see as we go on.
Good stuff. Good stuff. Is there any other questions about Yamoshi or DBDC related, or just future what ifs and channel content?
Yeah.
Should we bring back streams more often?
Yeah, let us know if you enjoyed seeing stuff like this, because it's fun for us to do, but we just don't know if people actually like them.
Will Vegeta ever meet Wonder Woman's dad, Zeus? No, because he's not a fucking dad. For anyone wondering, DBDC Wonder Woman is actually made from clay. The original
males
origin
were involved in her creation.
Yep, the original origin Wonder Woman was sculpted from clay. Is Chilled the Master Roshi to the Saiyans, specifically the women? Haha, ladies!
Chilly!
Oh, is it a little cold in here? Y'all look chilled.
I'm kind of here for that.
Scrap everything you've got. We've got to rewrite.
That's
Page 1 rewrite.
That's a good take.
What if Goku was given an nth metal staff?
I mean, I think the Ryu Jungu Bang would be better. Because it's mystical.
Yeah, it's mystical, so it kind of like... It does, I guess, effectively the same thing, but it also expands to his will. So
yeah, like the nth metal kind of works on the idea of, like, reality
magic
and stuff. Whereas magical stuff in DC they just do shit that shouldn't be physically possible. Like a staff that can eternally expand and contract and expand its width and stuff like that. So Ryu Jingo Bang is more a style.
Yeah, Ares Oblivion. How tall is Wonder Woman DBDC? I like this man. He asks the important question.
She's like
6'7", 6'9".
Yeah, she's like how she is in New Frontier, where she's got a head over Superman.
Yep. Is Geek single? Asking for a friend. He's kind of in like a relationship right now, but it's not really. It's.
I am in a very happy relationship with a gorgeous woman named Spitfire Queen Erin, and if you guys have ever seen the Superman TES show, you know where the imp Mixelplick has like a hot banging wife. Yeah, that's what I've managed to secure. So I appreciate the compliment, but it's not happening.
Question about episode 7 of Doom. Does Kakarot not understand his value as a hero? Oh, that was something that was asked earlier. It's actually kind of an interesting thing. I would say pretty firmly a yes. He doesn't understand his value as a hero because, like, he doesn't necessarily think of himself in those terms. Like, that's kind of what the Super Saiyan saga and a good chunk of the Entity saga was all about, does Goku fit in with the Justice League? Does he really have a place there? And the answer is no, but like he's also not like diametrically opposed to that. Being around
different.
Being around them has an influence on him, but he doesn't see himself in those black and white terms that they do. And that's both a strength and a weakness. It's a strength because, as we've seen with some of the like Superman rogues gallery that got thrown his way in the absence of Superman in this universe, he's able to actually turn a lot of them around in a different way. They're not going on killing rampages. They come out to the farm to fight him. He doesn't send them off to jail. He just kind of tells them to go on their own, and they don't. Like there's just, there's like a different dynamic. He's friendlier with them. Like he and Lobo get drinks and eat together kind of thing. And that has a different merit to it.
It's the example I go to is a cat will never accept being beaten by another cat, but it will accept and kind of be fine with getting chased off by a dog. Superman and the DC characters is a cat versus a cat. An evil DC character, no matter how friendly Superman is, how nice and pure he is on the diametric of it where he represents just pure, total good. So the evil characters, they can't accept him because if that means that means everything they've been doing is wrong. That's why it's, especially like Lex and him are always going to be diametrically opposed because Lex can never accept Clark's way because that means that he's admitted he was wrong. Kakarot is a dog. He is a completely different beast. He does not give us flying monkeys about what the morality of the situation is, or he just like, be nice, let me eat, do you want to fight? And he challenges no one's way of life, he challenges no one's mindset, he doesn't care who you are, what you're with. And because of that, the villains are kind of like unsure of how to handle him, so they just kind of like, oh, he's not that big of a deal. Like, they can't get angry at him because there's nothing really, because he's not even really hurting them that much. They get away with a lot more shit than Superman did.
Which is a problem. Like, it means that they're not, like, as extreme because you don't have that level of escalation of, like, well, Superman stopped me from robbing a bank, so I'm going to, like, hold the mayor's daughter for ransom. Well, Superman stopped me from that, so I'm going to do this. And, like, you get those escalating crimes. Kakarot doesn't, oh, they're robbing banks, I don't care about that. So, like, the crime never escalates. The levels of violence don't escalate, but, like, the levels of, like, physical fighting do.
Exactly.
So it's just, so, like, in an odd twist of fate, like, the entirety of the Superman's rogues gallery is actively more powerful because they've been chasing that curve in, like, an anime villain style thing that Kakarot establishes. But they're actually less, like, collateral damaged and demented style violent.
Because if you think of it logically, right, the Superman villains, if you put Superman there, are always operating from the assumption we're never going to outmuscle him, so we have to find ways around him. How Kakarot started out in Dbdc, a lot of these guys are like, oh, I could probably take him.
Mm-hmm.
If I improved a little bit stronger, I'd probably take him. Like, he's never so far above them that anyone thinks, like, oh, we have to think of a counter to him. He's always within that, like, well, I actually did beat him that one time, and maybe if I had him another... They never have to up the game stakes to the point where real people's lives and emotional things get in danger, because he's never that much of a threat to them. Superman is the world's greatest superhero. He's a threat to every single villain on the thing because he is on game, at point, saving hundreds of thousands of billions of lives every single, like, year. Kakarot helps a lot of people, but, like, he is not flying around the planet at light speed, hearing for disasters. He's just, oh, there's a strong guy in the news, I'm going to go out and fight him, and that's his day. Mm-hmm. He doesn't do the... And again, it's not like he's selfish or lax, it's just... No superhero can do what Superman does. That's kind of why he's Superman. Mm-hmm. So, like, that's a lot of the thing that makes our DC universe very unique. Not just on the Kakarot side of thing, but in the entire DC universe. And this is not just what if Goku was in DC, this is also what if Superman wasn't in DC. Mm-hmm. And there's a lot of things with that as well. But yeah, that's something that, as the stories go on, will become more and more apparent and more relevant. It's just kind of in the background as we are right now, but it's still quite important to getting the most out of our series, I think.
Okay, we've got a really important question here. Death Battle has done a Superman vs. Goku, Superman 1. Do you think this version of Goku could win?
Oh, God.
Using, like, the Death Battle rules of, like, every version of Superman collectively counts.
Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to be an asshole about it.
Uh-huh.
Me writing Goku could beat every version of Superman, but me writing Superman could beat every version of Goku. So whichever one I'm writing wins. There's your answer. Whichever one Geek for Fun writes is the most powerful Superman. Again, tell Seth the programmer, I'm calling y'all out. Geeks for Fun vs. Superman and Geeks for Fun vs. Goku, omnipresent. And Martha Kent.
Oh, Martha Kent stomps.
Because she raised them both.
Right.
She spanked them both.
Abel Zulu, who could win a food eating contest, Lobo or Goku?
Goku. Like,
that's no question.
Lobo could maybe outdrink her, because Goku's not much of a drinker.
Mm-hmm.
He prefers his solids, but Lobo is not eating as much as Goku, no way.
Eli Gonzalez, will you guys consider making a story where Kakarot lands in communist China? That's been suggested before, and just on the premise of that, I like that a lot more than the Goku in Soviet Russia, because it's just it's just too much of the one-to-one with Superman. So, as far as, like, the Red Sun Kakarot, if we were to do it, it would be that take where he lands in China as a baby. But here's the funny thing, guys. Goku's master in Dvdc is from China. So
He's already...
he's already got like
And
a
if
lot
you
of...
remember, he got his first outfit from Ouyang pulling connections with the Chinese government.
Yeah, so like, as far as what it would be, like if we were to do like the political commentary side of things, you could get down a rabbit hole, but I just don't think Goku really works as a like political commentary character very
Unless
well.
you're gonna make it like a gag or a disaster. Like there's no way he handles those situations with the delicacy they deserve. So you either just make it entirely humorous or you nuke the world because he ruins everything.
Yeah, and so like it just as far as the question of like Red Sun Kakarot Kent, he landed in communist China. If we're not going to do anything with that though, if it was ever going to show up, just because we have said several times that's the take we'd go with. If it is ever going to show up, it'd be like some kind of multiverse event where you see a bunch of different ones, and it would just be like a blink and you miss it.
Like a
kind of
cameo kind
yeah.
of thing. But...
So it's not like that you have the answer. Yes, that's what the take would be, but that's not something we're particularly interested in following.
Yeah, pretty much.
Which is, I don't know, it's fun to like you know the multiverse Earth map that Morrison did, where it's like just the little paragraph summation of all the Earths. That kind of stuff I find fun, and that would just be one of those. Is just be like, this is the Kakarot that did this, this, and this. Egyptian teen Goku, sure, whatever that means.
That's Egyptian teen Goku has like Ultra Instinct at age 8.
Will Vegeta try to go fight Goku more often, or will he just wait till he gets rid of the heart virus? Okay, actually I can answer this because it's kind of a cool thing. So we talked earlier about the short stories, and we have the kind of like vague, or not vague, we have the like bittersweet ending of Doom Saga Episode 7. So the two of the stories that have been put out, the Kid Stuff and the Stepford Wives, both of those take place after Doom Saga Episode 7. Not precisely sure when after, but after Episode 7. And so if you want to go read those to see like what exactly Vegeta's dynamic is with Goku now, or Kakarot now, that he's like, well, I'm not going to kill you because then it's like, it's not me that beats you, it's the virus that beats you. And I just like, put the nail in the coffin. So he's not going to, he's in that place like, I want to kill him, but like, my honor, my pride.
He will not settle for a victory tainted by Kakarot not being at his best. Because then he's always going to have that thing, I never really beat him. So Vegeta will not be making any moves on Kakarot until the heart virus is gone from him.
Exactly. But so if you want to see like what their dynamic is, it certainly doesn't mean they're buddy-buddy, but I had fun because I wrote and released those stories before Episode 7 was released, because we'd already had the script in the bag. So I knew exactly what Vegeta's dynamic would be with Goku going forward, which is very similar to the to kind of the films where like he'd keep showing up just randomly, which meant he had to be there the whole time, just randomly, and like kick the villain and be like, no one kills you but me, Kakarot. And like I really like that dynamic for Vegeta and Goku, so it's kind of fun to have that, and you get to see it now in story where he'll like make up an excuse to be there because he's got like this investment that he has to protect now. I love that dynamic so much.
It's done really well.
So you can go read those stories, Dragon Ball DC, Legends, Kids Stuff, and Stepford Wives have Vegeta and Goku post Episode 7 hanging out. Are there any what-ifs that you have done that you might want to continue in the future, says Doge the Grappler?
All the ones we've done, we've ended.
Not entirely true. There's still room to do more stuff with the Alien and Predator world, and I do want to do stuff with that. It's just, he doesn't have the time to edit it, and I still have a child that needs a lot of attention, and I get like 2 to 3 hours a night to do stuff, and most of that just comes into like, existing and being able to know what's going on like pop culture wise and stuff. So just the amount of time I would need to devote to editing just isn't there yet. As my child gets older, I'll be able to do that a little bit more, but just right now it's just not feasible for me to edit videos. So there's been a very long-term pause on those. Maybe after she turns 2, I'll be able to get away a little bit more. As she's more responsible and can be trusted more and not have to be no.
On my end of that, again, I do know what I would do if I had to make a sequel to Dragon Ball Norse, but I'm kind of proud of that series as of it is, and I don't want to... I want to focus on, again, stuff like Yamoshi, stuff like Dragon Ball DC, and different sagas like that, because, again, I'm aware of how long this story is taking to be told, and I don't want to rush it, but I also don't want to be, 10 years down the line and it's still not done. I want to be able to have the whole thing on YouTube and finished, without having years between episodes or something like some fan series. And then that's not an insult or anything. I just understand that life comes up like that, and I don't know what will happen in the future of my life. So the main focus is the main stuff. There will be new series coming out, but in terms of old stuff, I've said all what I want to say, and obviously you've got the things like the alien stuff. But on my end of things, all the stuff that I wrote, I'm happy with where they are. The potential to go back is there, but at the moment, the YouTube situation, the Patreon stuff would have to really pick up to when I could just dedicate that just full time, and then maybe I could do more, but at the moment I just don't have the resources for that.
Mm-hmm. And again, that's kind of goes back to what we were saying earlier. It's it seems like a really big channel, and certainly it's much more successful than I've ever been on YouTube or whatever, but looking at it from the outside is very different from looking at it from the inside, and realizing just how small and how resource intensive this all is. And the nice thing though is the bigger the community gets, the bigger the channel gets, the bigger the series gets, the more people can get involved and help with it. One of the things, and he's in the chat still, I believe, is there's Monkey. One of the things that helps the most is getting the community to grow, because then people with skills that can help the community come in. Monkey's been absolutely amazing in helping out with, just edits of renders to help make the series feel more cohesive, to have art characters in their designs for Dragon Ball DC. Little stuff like that. People that can come in and help out, or being able to commission out art or pieces for the series, just helps a lot. And we can't really do that if the channel stagnates, or the channel doesn't grow, the videos don't get views. I'm glad that everyone loved episode 7 of the Doom Saga, and if you did, please go back to it. Make sure you've liked the video, make sure you've shared it, because anything we can do to help get that more momentum, more steam, really does help the channel, because that was one that's kind of underperformed a little bit, honestly, which is a little disappointing. What are you reading?
I was just reckoning in the comments and seeing if we had anything specifically. I saw one that was about if Superman be a vegetarian. That is a take already. That's Mark Waid's take, and that's Grant Morrison's take. If you read Superman Birthright, they go into there of Superman being a vegetarian, have a fun thing about he sees living things souls, so when he sees dead food, it's repulsive to him because he can see its soul's not there anymore. And he says it's very it was very hard for poor Martha trying to explain to her husband who runs a farm why their son wouldn't want to eat meat. that was a thing. So that is a take that exists. I like it, but it's one of those little details that doesn't really inform. It's not that important to the character. You can, and I know the beef bourgeois thing is a pretty important. Not important, but people like that with Superman. So I can take it or leave it, but that is if you like that take of Superman, that is a comic where that exists, which is Birthright, and it's very, very good and very well done. So that's a very valid take on Superman. I don't him being a vegetarian, him not being a vegetarian, him having to eat, him not to eat, fine with whatever.
Yeah. Stop Talking says, oh, no, that wasn't in demand. What's Martian Manhunter's views on Kakarot?
We've kind of gone into that a little bit.
We've seen it. It's most openly expressed in the Entity Saga when Martian Manhunter is interacting with Kendra in part 1, I think. And he's, a lot of these guys, the Justice League relationship is always interesting with every character on it. they're friends, but like they're all work friends. Like really, only I think Batman and Superman are like actually friends outside of the Justice League.
Everyone else is just kind of, oh, nice to see ya. And Barry and Hal as well.
Maybe, but even then, I always question that one. Sometimes that takes, and sometimes it doesn't. I guess that's more dependent on the writer as opposed to like
the genuinely is like, I think it's described as like the Fantastic Four as a family, the X-Men as a school, the Avengers as a football team, and the Justice League as the United Nations.
That's an interesting way to put it. Again, I think the work friends thing is more apt, where like they're all friendly, they all like each other well enough, but it is more of just like a working relationship, a general respect for each other. And so Martian Manhunter has a general respect for Kakarot and what he's up to, and they, you know, they're cool, they're bros. They're not
about the extent of it.
Yeah. But he's got also an interesting take on like the last surviving thing, because they have that part in common. What is John Constantine view on Kakarot? Or what does John Constantine think of Kakarot? I think he's a silly cape, just like he does with all the superheroes, I'd imagine.
Yeah, he probably just thinks he's maybe mentally disabled. I'm gonna call him a sloth. Like that seems like the thing, but I don't think he'd have any time for Kakarot or his nonsense or his shenanigans and stuff like that. I think he'd look at Kakarot and see a walking nuclear bomb and not want anything to do with that, because a lot of what Constantine does is about being involved in very delicate things, and he himself fucks them up, but he's very aware of the danger of power. And unlike someone like Superman or Wonder Woman, who is extreme power but has such a finesse control of it, Kakarot shooting blasts from his hands and like very like gleefully wants to fight, and I think Constantine would be like, I want anything to do with you, mate. Like I'm out of here. Like you are not my genre. Like again, that is a thing where like you have a shonen gag action adventure character and a prestige format gritty graphic novel.
Oh wait. Can I just completely contradict everything you said?
Okay, sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, Constantine and Kakarot met. Kakarot one-shotted him and said he needed to train more.
There you go. There you go. You said it here, folks. It's canon now.
Because it's an Alan Moore character, so that's exactly what happened.
There you go. It's canon now.
Yeah. What's your take on Earth 3 and Dvdc, especially Kakarot, with what he is like? Which one's Earth 3? Is that the Crime Syndicate?
Yeah, Crime Syndicate.
Crime Syndicate. I guess we can tease this. We've got a pitch for that to appear in an arc down the line, though we do not know to what extent and for how long it's going to last. But there has been talk of that being introduced in the main series. So there's an answer without any kind of real details.
Yeah, exactly. It's just we've thought about it. We've looked at a lot of the multiverse stuff. That's something we have an idea for, which could evolve or change when we get to it. So we know basically just a little bit more than you guys do, quite honestly. It's not a fully formed idea.
Yeah, just like a cool, this would be kind of neat. Yeah. That's okay, that's neat enough to put in. To what extent, how long, maybe it'll be like part of an arc, maybe it'll be just like an opening scene or something, you know.
Wait it up, yeah.
Has Goku met every hero on Earth? Yes, except for the ones where their not meeting becomes important for the plot later on.
Yeah, so that's the answer.
Yeah, like, so that's the thing, is in the Saiyan Saga beginning, there's like that 7-year gap, and that's there because any like has he met Captain Marvel? Has he met Zatanna? Has he met frickin' the Silver Bulleteer? Yes, he's met all of them that you want him to have met, unless later on we decide that this is the first time they've met because it serves the purpose of the story better. And it's just one of those things. Like, there's a lot of please fill in the gaps, because honestly we do like to see that stuff. Like all the, what's this version of Kakarot like? You know, like, honestly, we probably won't get to it, but you could write it yourself, join the Discord and pitch it, and honestly, whenever someone does that, we're willing to actually say, oh yeah, this, I'd change this, and this, and it wouldn't take too many like hop, skips, and jumps to get from here's my little fan fiction imagining of Earth 75 Goku or whatever, and us just say, yeah, no, that's canon, sure, why not? Yeah. It's like we're not going to touch it, but it's still cool to do, and we like to see that with the community. I think that's really fun. James consumed. What afterlife will Goku go to? That's an interesting one, because again, there's so many, but it seems specific to which one you're worshiping. Is Goku religious?
No.
So
maybe he goes to Valhalla and he fights 4 again.
Dvdc Goku versus Thor.
Dbdc Norse as well. That's the next sequel. You figured it out. You got us.
Will Green Arrow or Black Canary ever show up in future DVDC episodes or shorts? Maybe.
Possibly.
Yeah.
Again, it's the characters that I like, but I have a story for them at the moment, which may change or whatever, but I think there's a bit coming up in Doom, like the background or something like that, but like again, it's the most of the characters that we've got, we don't want, the DC universe is so big, I think a lot of fan fiction writers and stuff can get carried away sometimes, and even then, sometimes I wonder if we like include too many characters, but it's such a fun sandbox to play in. Mm-hmm. So we like to keep the cast emotionally understandable. So it's still large, but it's not to the point where like a Legion of Superhero comic, where you can't connect to any of the characters because there's just too many to keep track of and so many things. So like, yes, Green Arrow and Black Canary are cool, but if they've not got a reason to be here, we're not just going to put them in for the sake of it. Mm-hmm. Because, again, we've already got characters that fill in those kind of roles and stuff, so...
Yeah, and that's the thing, is, again, like, he's met all of them that, like, we don't have any real pitch for, if you want to just imagine that he's met them. Yeah, there's no problem with that, because there's, like, that time in story for that to have happened. It's just... God, quit yawning. You're making me want to yawn. There's that time for that to have happened. It's just we haven't... Like, we have to be very economical because, of course, like you, I love this character. I want this character to show up. Yeah, us too. We love our own set of characters that we want to show up, so we got to get to them first. So just kind of like... There's the Venn diagram of characters that you want Goku to be, and there's the Venn diagram of characters we want Goku to be, and there is like a cross section in the middle there. But a lot of that, I wonder how much of that is Larfleeze.
Even amongst just us, there's a Venn diagram as well.
Yeah.
Like, characters you'll like that, I'll be like, I don't really like that one. Or characters that I bring up, he's like, I don't really think the point of that. So like, even when we specifically, we don't always get things like that because we find a better answer anyway. Again, the series isn't just insert Goku, meet this character here. There's a little bit of that because it's fun, but a good narrative that does not make. Like, that's not a story, that's just a set of events. And we want to make stories, we want to make things that actually emotionally affect you. And emotionally affect doesn't mean make you sad, make you laugh, make you get pumped up, get all these kind of things. That's what we try and do here, is we want to make stories that don't just pass you by. We want to, each episode should give you like some kind of feeling. Be it like laugh, cry, or sometimes all both in the same episode. Every time we get comments about that, I always feel really humbled and stuff, because it means we've managed to put a little bit in there, because when we write the scripts, we laugh. And we get to write the sad parts, we get emotional, like, so we get to transfer that through the internet, through PNGs from Dokkan Battle. It's pretty crazy when you put it like that, but it works.
It is. Here's a question that you just made me think of, because, yeah, there's that Venn diagram between ourselves. Is there a character who, like, you were unsure about including, that, like, looking back on, you're like, yeah, I'm really glad we did? I guess I'll limit it to stuff that has already been released.
Yeah, of course. I think it's one of the villains or stuff.
Yeah, because there has been I can think of one that I think applies for you, certainly. Because I was kind of like indifferent to him one way or the other. Godspeed.
Yeah, well, no, I never was against Godspeed though, because we had a take for Godspeed. I think the thing I'm thinking of is something where like because I remember having moments like this where you suggested something, I was like, I don't know, but then you did it and it worked well. I think maybe some of like the. I think maybe it was like. No, it wasn't Orca because we just needed a goon figure. We just came up with that, and she's not big enough to really count for that. This is hard because I specifically remember feeling the things, but I've liked everything afterwards, so it's like the thing. I think the one I was the most unsure about was the entity stuff being such a Green Lantern focused thing because I just didn't have the connection to it like you did.
Mm-hmm.
So that was one of the ones where I kind of like had to trust you that it would work. And then it came together really well. Oh, no, the one who's really kind of soared off that I didn't expect to was Larfleeze.
Mm-hmm.
Larfleeze was put in as a favour to you because Larfleeze is like Ian's boy. And then he became my boy as well. I fucking love Larfleeze, but that came from writing him.
Yeah.
I didn't have that affection before.
Yeah. I know it's always interesting to do that. And like I guess the one that I eternally have to eat my words for was in the scripting session for stuff, where I'm like, Alfie, you can't put in the fucking solar shark. And that's the one that's like popped off super hard too. So
That's the first Dbdc OC, the solar shark.
Aries Oblivion says, does Kakarot count as a speedster? This is a couple years back now, but I know Joshua Williamson, who was writing the Flash book at the time, actually for the like DC Universe magazine that they were trying to publish, and I think it got like 5 issues in before they canceled it. But he ranked the fastest people in the DC Universe, and it was interesting because he put non-speedsters, because speedster means a very specific thing of someone who accesses the Speed Force. So the direct answer to your question is no, but he would rank on this list because he put like Wonder Woman and the Cheetah and Superman and like other characters who have super speed on there. So 100% Kakarot would rank on that list, just unsure as to where. Given his race with Wally, it would be pretty high up. He would probably be, I think it's fair to say, the fastest under the category of people with access to the Speed Force.
And I think the interesting thing about him specifically is I think he only went that fast in that because that was against Wally.
Mm-hmm.
And like Goku and Kakarot are very... their strength, and this is like in Super as well, but I think a lot of people get mad like this is inconsistent, but I think it's a character thing. Goku fights better against people who are stronger, and he fights worse against people who are weaker. So I think
it's 100% because he's way too cocky about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
So I think if he was racing someone like Cheetah, he'd actually do worse than he did against Wally. Because against Wally, he's pushing himself.
Mm-hmm.
Against Cheetah, he kind of not have his heart in it.
Which is, like, that's kind of where he... It's interesting to say that so directly, because those are the matches he lost in the tournament, is when he got too cocky and he was so sure that he had it. He lost against Wonder Woman, he lost against Hawkgirl. And he lost against Wally, and that was the one that's like the exception of...
Because that's just a cheat of the Speed Force.
Yeah, like he tried his hardest against that one, but the other ones he lost because he was too cocky about. And it's not that like that cockiness can't pay off for him on occasion. That's like the gag character thing coming out because he still won against Mira, and that was the most cocky he got out of all of those. Well, I guess the most cocky would probably be the one where he literally fell asleep.
I don't even think that's cocky if you're just tired.
Will Goku have the Strength Force? Even if he did, he would. The entire story would just be about him trying to give it up because it's not his.
He wouldn't want it. And even then, Goku's not a strength guy. He's not a Superman lift heavy things kind of dude. They make a point of that in Dragon Ball whenever they have like to lift heavy things. They're not that good at it. Like, Vegeta couldn't lift Vegeta in the manga. Fucking Goku is still training with weights and intense gravities. Their power comes from their spirit and their ki, and how they punch isn't like Superman, where Superman is punching and it's the same as when he lifts, because it's just muscles. Goku is using energy, and that's very specific fighting energy. He's not someone who is going to be doing these huge feats of strength, because that's what his manga is about. His manga is about martial skill and fighting. So I don't even think the strength force would apply, because I don't think the strength force just makes you buff. It doesn't give you skill.
It really does. It is 100% like a DeviantArt fetish post.
Exactly,
whenever you see
right.
someone with the strength
it
force.
hulks you out, and that's just not like, you could give that to Broly for sure, but you could not give that to Goku, I don't think.
Yeah. Want to ask, what is your favorite character design of Lady Shiva? For me, it's going with the one from the recent animated films. I'm assuming you mean the what is it, the
Blood of the Dragon?
Yeah, Blood of the Dragon. That one's not bad. I really do like the Arkham Origins Shiva.
Arkham
It's
Origins
really,
was the peak for
really
me.
good. There's been some other stuff that I liked. I kind of dig her, 70s look.
With,
when
the
she's-
big hair.
Yeah, the big hair and like the bandana and stuff. That's just kind of like fun, like, exploitation of the times kind of vibe to it. And I don't know, I like her. Most of the time she doesn't have particularly bad designs outside of the one Jim Lee look. Usually whenever she shows up, she looks okay.
I don't like the Young Justice design either, because it looks generic.
Yeah, but
I
it's
think
not
Shiva
terrible.
needs the coat.
Yeah, the coat
is
helps.
such a vibe with Shiva.
Yeah, the coat helps, because like you can do that thing of like she takes it off and then she's serious,
Exactly.
right? Like, yeah.
The one is the best one is the Arkham art. Oh, go ahead.
Takes off the coat and it does the Dragon Ball thing where it like
Wait,
cracks the
it's like,
concrete.
it's like Piccolo. Oh, that'd be a good moment. That'd be a good scene.
Write that down. That's
Okay,
good.
that's good. That's good. That's good.
Yeah, shit like that's just fun. She rarely gets like straight up bad designs. Like I know there's the one like infamous Jim Lee design, but like those are pretty far and few between. Anytime you see her, it's either generic or it's good.
Her best outfit is the time in the Girl Summoned by the Prey Room where she wore Black Canary's outfit. Because my god, the artist on that popped off. That's all I'll say.
Will you guys another force in DBDC like the Spirit Force, Speed, Strength? I don't know a ton about those. Like I read the beginning of the arc where they're introduced, and I was like, oh, so it's like the Jeff Johns thing all over again. And I don't mind that as like a concept for Flash, but it's like it's a Flash concept, and he's not the main character. Like, I'm a huge Green Lantern fan, so that's a big part of why the Green Lantern lore got so heavily introduced into DBDC, especially early on in the Entity Saga. But the other side of it is we've made a really solid connection and argument that the emotional spectrum and ki are the same thing in Dragon Ball DC and just in general. You look at the new Super Chapter and Gas is creating constructs from ki, and that's not like a new thing. It goes, fucking Goku Black did it with the Scythe, and Vegeta did it with the Spirit Sword and stuff. So constructs and ki in the emotional spectrum, like it's energy created from the soul, like it's 100% ki. So like it's really hard not to lean into the Green Lantern lore stuff because that's pretty closely tied. But also there's just like the practicality of introducing the entities could get to the White Lantern, which could resurrect people, which was the most like Dragon Ball thing. And there's a part of it of like the destruction of Coast City, the destruction of Bloodhaven in the comics always felt really awkward to us as comic fans because everyone just kind of shrugs and goes, oh well, guess there's nothing we can do about it. And like Hal Jordan, of course, like infamously goes on the whole like parallax kick and kills the Green Lantern Corps and stuff because of the destruction of Coast City. But at the same time, it's like, yeah, like why the fuck wasn't anyone else doing anything?
Why did no one help out with that?
Yeah, like he only did that after he went crazy because no one was trying to help. So like the Entity Saga in a number of ways was us kind of like, all right, this is kind of what should have happened, or something like this should have happened. And so it's a distinction and a retcon and a lot of things rolled into one. That's why the Green Lantern lore got so heavily tied in. But after Super Saiyan Saga, we've distanced ourselves from that in a pretty big way, and that's only going to continue. So like the idea of what would the story gain by introducing the Flash lore into it, and the answer is very little. again, if you wanted to take this from another perspective and say that if this wasn't a series actually being published by DC Comics, yeah, sure, you would get something like that. You could get a tie-in issue, or you could have, Kakarot show up in the Flash book and maybe get the Spirit Force even. Would make, I think, more sense for Kakarot. For that issue. But that's just it. It would be, contained within the other character's story. It wouldn't really be done for the sake of Goku. It would be done for the sake of, the cover.
Or even just you do the Morrison thing, which I think would be to be Flash discovers the Spirit Force, and then the twist at the end of the thing is it is just the emotional spectrum. It's just a different name for it.
Yeah, or whatever the hell. And honestly, I don't know what it is. It's I think it's mental, telepathy and shit like that. But just regardless, it's one of those things where adding that in wouldn't really service the story. You could say certainly it could happen. If you want to go write that story of the Flash issue crossover,
go ahead.
Please do. We're more than glad to give you notes on it. But it's not something that we do as part of our sagas and stuff like that. We are getting close to the end of the time we wanted to stream, so we'll take just a couple more questions. Just whatever the next 3 that get asked are.
So who's going to be the Majin Buu equivalent in Dvdc?
Every time. There's not going to be it's Johnny Thunder. That's my favorite answer because I'm 100% correct. No one can argue with me that if you wanted a Majin Buu equivalent, it's the literal pink genie. But it just goes to show how stupid that is, and we're not going to do that. Man, I really shouldn't have guaranteed the next 3, but whatever. What does Starfire Raven thinks of Kakarot? That guy's weird.
Yeah, that's the extent of it.
Would the Legion of Superheroes look up to Kakarot Kent the same way they do for Superman?
No.
Absolutely not.
Because remember, we had the Legion show up. They didn't give a flying fuck about Kakarot. They looked up to Gohan and Cassandra. Take that what you will. Mm-hmm. But they did not care about Kakarot. He was like, oh yeah, cool. Anyway, Gohan, Cassandra, oh my god, you guys are so cool.
That guy, 2502, what has Ra's al Ghul been doing since Bruce died? Let's see here. Can refresh me. Is Resurrection of Ra's al Ghul before or after Final Crisis?
Before, because Bruce is still alive in there.
That's right. Okay, I couldn't remember if it was after the resurrection and stuff. So he would still be alive, or he would be newly alive, actually. But is this too much of a spoiler?
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, then never mind. Ra's is petting tigers and drinking wine.
Ra's isn't in any position to be doing it much of anything at the moment. And if y'all have read Morrison stuff, you'll know why, but that's all I'll say.
Yeah, I think that's a fair one. Ra's is doing his Ra's thing. Totally. Yeah. That's a good spot to end the stream on. Nice and vague.
That's good, because that kind of leads into where we'll be going.
Yeah. All right. So that'll be it, everybody. What you looking at?
I'm just making sure I'm looking at all the things. Yeah, okay.
We'll leave those questions. If you want to have those questions answered, maybe quickly join our Discord. Hey, yo! Again, you can check the videos out for the link for that. And that's about the long and short of it, folks. Thank you, as always, for coming into here. In fact, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to add a link to the Discord in the chat right now, just in case.
Yeah, sure.
People always do that. So you can close us out of this or answer another question while I'm doing that.
Yeah, I can answer just one more question while you're doing that. Are Nappa and Raditz still on Earth? Says Tevin Daniels. You need to go watch Jenny and Larfleeze show, because that answers that question. So let's see here. What other female villain tries to sleep with Kakarot? Does he do it with them, or he knows what cheating is? God, could you imagine trying to seduce Goku? It just wouldn't work.
I mean, it's just that episode with the snake lady, right?
Yeah, right? Like, it just, like, that's exactly what happens if any of the female villains try to seduce Goku. Alright, he's got the Discord link there, so everyone, thanks very much for watching. It was super fun doing this. We need to bring streams back more often. They're too much fun.
Yeah, definitely. Thank you all again, and we'll be very excited for 2022 with Geeks of Fun.